What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brian, the Casual Brian, with today's Casual Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by the Casual Brand, as well as all episodes are brought to you by the Casual Brand. Casual Brand, casually connecting you to the world. So, a ton to get into today. Um, I am just blown away with some of the topics. Uh, I want to get to DeSantis, but I think that for me to go into a balanced life, it doesn't make sense to start with DeSantis because I feel like that's going to set a tone for today's podcast and today's stream. So I'm going to go balanced living, DeSantis, BJJ, and then we'll go into some live tweets. So again, that's balanced living, um, DeSantis, BJJ, and then we're going to go into some live tweet reactions. We're broadcasting live on Facebook, both on my personal page, on the actual podcast page, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So if you're following us or if you're not following us, please be sure to subscribe. And if you really enjoy this, give this a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family because that's how we grow, homie. That's how we grow. Um, I think there was one other thing I want to. Yes. If you don't catch this, or if you ever find yourself missing the stream from Monday through Friday, every evening we're posting it. I'm posting it on the audio on podcast, so you can catch it on Spotify, iTunes, and all the other places you can find um, podcasts. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to sit through the video. If you don't like video, listen to the audio. Take it with you on the train. Take it with you on the plane. Take it with you wherever you want. Casually, it's up to you. So, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about what I'm really going to be leaning into for 2022. And that is a balanced life. Okay? I got something that I'm really excited about that I can't let people know about yet, but there is something big on the horizon for 2022. And for me, 2022 is about two things. It's all about two things. Everything that I'm going to be talking about, everything that I'm going to be putting out, all boils down to these two things: investments and balanced living. Investments and balanced living. So what do I mean by investments? Well, I'm not just talking about investing your money, which you should be doing. And I will be talking about things that I'm looking into, and we can look through it together. I don't have to make suggestions per se because I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you what I found, what I'm looking into, what I'm curious about, and what I found. And we can discuss and we can come to the best possible solution. And the best possible solution for me might not be the best possible solution for you. But I'm not just talking about money. In fact, I'm more talking about having a mindset that understands that what I invest today will benefit me tomorrow. So if I am overweight, I have to make investments today to get my goals tomorrow. Meaning, I have to work out today. I have to invest a workout today so that I can have a better body, a healthier body tomorrow. I have to invest a good meal, clean eating. These are all investments. And there are also negative investments. You can do negative things to your body and you will have to face the consequences. So I'm all about investing in the positive. So I want to be investing in people. I want to be like, so for example, this microphone that I bought, it's an investment into this stream. The camera that I'm using, it's an investment into this stream. All the stuff that I'm going to be buying, those are investments because I want to try to make this stream the best it can possibly be. Relationships is something that we really don't pay attention to. Those are investments. You know, I really think that thinking about relationships as investments, and it's not like a one to one or you're trying to get something from somebody, but there's going to come a time in life where you're going to need somebody. You might, and it might not be like financially, it might just be someone to talk to, it might just be someone to go through life with. And if you haven't invested in any of your friends, if you haven't shown up for any of your friends, if you haven't shown interest in any of your friends, then why are they going to show up for you? you know and so I'm really trying to get people to see that we have to start investing in each other, in each other's businesses, and spending time hearing and listening to each other and that kind of thing. So investments, that's the first thing. 2022, we're pushing investments. And the second thing is balanced living. This is possibly the most important thing that we can understand in today's life. Because I think a lot of things get a lot of a bad rap that are really not bad. They're just out of balance. So for example, I think this is probably the easiest one for everyone to understand. Some people might disagree with me, but this is my opinion. Alcohol by itself is not bad. Okay? Everyone likes a beer with a burger, wings, bourbon, a glass of wine. These things are not bad per se by themselves. It's out of balance. And out of balance might be different for everybody. But when these things become out of balance, I think that everything out of balance can be bad for you. You work out, and that's all you do. That's all you do. All you want to do is work out. And we all can agree that working out is good for you. But if that's all you're focused on, then you start to get unhealthy relationships with your body, with your weight, with what you're eating. You feel guilty. Um, you push your body past that. You got to really listen to your body. For example, my knee started getting funky, had to take some time off. And it was hard. It was really hard because you kind of built this momentum and that pushes you through the tough workouts, the tough days, and so on and so forth. And then when you need to pull back, it's very hard to slam on those brakes. But you have to, because you have to listen to your body, because you need to stay in balance. I think the number one thing, and where I'm really thinking about this showing up is in social media. A lot of people come down on social media, and I think unfairly. I understand. I'm not saying that social media does not have its issues. It has its issues for sure. There is no doubt about it. But it's not that social media is bad. It's just that it's out of balance. There is nothing else balancing out your life. So you're spending all day on social media. For me, I have a lot of stuff. I have my relationship with my family. I have my relationship with Darcel. I have my relationship um, with my church family. I have jujitsu. I have anime. And then on top of all that, I have work. So I have a lot that's balancing out, everything. If everything just got reduced down to only working, now my life is out of balance. You see what I'm saying? So it's like work is not bad, but if all you do is work all day and that's all you focus on and you have no limits, no boundaries, then your work is out of balance. And it doesn't matter how much they pay you. Doesn't matter if they give you the black card, you're living it up, you're balling, you're the boss, you're the CEO, or whatever. Your business is taking off. If that's all you do, that's all that's feeding you in life, your life is out of balance. And I know me sitting here saying it like this makes it sound like I'm saying it's super easy to make your life in balance. No, this is something that I'm striving to improve on in 2022. But as I'm striving, as I'm working on it, and when I find things that are working for me, I'm going to continue to share those with you. But the first step, the first thing you have to do is you have to have that mindset, that understanding. I want to make sure that my life is in balance. I want to make sure that I'm not focusing too much on one thing. Same. I mean, I'm saying the same thing, but I think it just helps. Some parents say video games are bad. Video games are not bad. There are people making millions of dollars on video games. There are kids making millions of dollars on video games. Video games can be used to teach math, science, problem solving, critical thinking. They can be a release, a departure. You had a long day of work. You want to get home and do a couple of hours on whatever game you like. There is function for video games. It's just it needs to be in balance. So what does it mean to find balance? Well, you got to answer that for yourself. For me, balance is I need to be moving. I need to be doing something for my mind and soul. I need to be working towards something. And then I need to have quality time with family and friends. That's a balanced life for me. I'm regularly seeing my friends and I'm talking to my family. And when I say friends, I include like my church family, my jujitsu family, and all that stuff, But I have to be working towards something. Money has no, for me, money has no play in my balance. I don't care about money at all. I mean, I need it, and I know I need it, but 30,000, 200,000, as long as I can pay my bills comfortably. Now, let's be real. You can't pay all your bills or do everything that you want to do with 30,000. So, the trick is, the goal is, at least for me, to figure out how to overlap doing what you want to do, what you like to do, and getting paid for it. And it's a very, very difficult thing to do, but it's possible for everybody. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's possible for everyone to do what they want to do and become a millionaire. That's not true. But man, if you can make $70,000 doing the exact same thing that you want to do, that sounds pretty good to me. That sounds pretty good to me, especially if you got a partner and they're making some money. Hey, that sounds pretty good to me. Um, Everyone's chasing being a millionaire for what? What do you want that costs $1 million? And that's another thing that you have to consider. If you're chasing something that you really don't need or want, then you're going to be out of balance. You know, it's, sometimes I feel like we end up waiting for things, and we're not really waiting for anything at all. We're just waiting because we don't want to live. We don't want to do things. This year, I really made a habit of going for things. And that's another thing. With respect to balance, you got to try new things. Find out what you like. For the majority of my life, I didn't try new things. I thought I didn't like tomatoes. In fact, this is a real funny one. About 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, first time ever, I tried Alfredo sauce. Up until that point, always said, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. I think I've tasted it a little bit. I don't know. My friend cooked it. I was being polite. I tried it. I loved it. It was great. I have it all the time now. Lemon chicken is great. You know, there's a balance. You can't just keep doing the same things. That'll put you out of balance too. There's just so many ways to find yourself out of balance. And another thing is, it's like your car tires. Even if you get your life into balance, it can come unaligned. So you have to continue to keep tweaking it, keep tweaking it, keep fixing it, keep adjusting it. That's just like my initial thoughts on balance. Again, 2022, we're talking about investments and balance. That's the main thing. I want to try to help more people become balanced, because I think that there are some people that could be happier than what they are, and they're just simply not taking the time to step back and think, what is it that's causing me this stress? What is it that's causing me to not be as happy, or have the peace that I can have the joy that I can have? So now that we got all the happy stuff out of the way, let's get into your boy DeSantis. Oh, DeSantis. Oh, DeSantis. Man, look. Let me start off. Let me do the compliment sandwich. You cannot deny that DeSantis has maximized his moment. Okay? I was looking on Twitter and people were kind of coming for him, because I was saying that DeSantis is the new Trump. I believe DeSantis is the new Trump. He seized COVID, gave him a moment, and he seized that moment. Hold on one second. We got a comment. Just want to give a shout out to Arnold. I appreciate the comment. I'm gonna share this. And I agree 100%. Balance is truly important, because it's really all you got. If you're not living balance, then you're not going to really enjoy it. So back to DeSantis. Thank you again, Arnold. Really appreciate it. It's DeSantis. He speaks for the people of Florida. And there's a lot of people in this country that DeSantis speaks for. And so you can't get upset if DeSantis doesn't speak for you, because he's not here to speak for everybody. That's something that Seth Gooden says. He's a great marketing wizard, brilliant guy, Purple Cow, Tribes, Linchpin. And he basically talks about, if you want to have a strong community, a strong tribe, you got to not try to please everybody. Find the people that you want to speak to and that you believe in, or that you understand what they believe in, and speak to them, the smallest possible crowd. Because the thing about it is, you can have 100,000 lukewarm people that kind of care about what you're talking about, or you could have 10,000 diehard, ride or die people that hang on to every word that you say. And those people will inspire other people. And at the end of the day, the 10,000 will help you to reach more than that lukewarm 100,000. And that's what DeSantis did. He started just strictly with a certain group of people in Florida, and he just gave them what they want. He just gave it to them. Talking points. Attack Fauci, um, open the economy, open the economy, open the economy. Don't Fauci my Florida. All this stuff, and they love it. And the people of Florida love it. I have friends that are, uh, I would say they're not Republican or conservative, but they love DeSantis. And there's people that are liberal that feel like they can't talk about DeSantis, but I feel like I can, and I feel like I will, because even though I understand his appeal, there's just some stuff that he's doing that's um, kind of crazy. And there's just one thing. It's one thing specifically that I want to talk about. He has a new bill. Um, just the, just the name of the bill lets you know kind of where he's coming from. It's the Stop Woke Activism and Critical Race Theory bill. I believe it's like just the Stop Woke bill is the name of it. Yeah, it's the Stop Woke Act. And basically this bill is somewhat similar to the Texas bill. It allows parents, uh, teachers, employers, and employees to sue if a teacher is teaching critical race theory in the school. And that's already terrible enough. I mean, like, it's not bad enough that we don't pay teachers um, enough, but now we're opening up the doors for people to sue them. Now, and now, before I even get to the worst part of the bill, here's the problem. The majority of the people do not know what critical race theory is. So how are you going to sue somebody for something that you don't know? If someone talks about slavery, that's not critical race theory. But now you're going to have a lot of people who have no idea what critical race theory is, taking lawsuits up before the courts. It's just it's not a good look. Okay? It's dangerous, it's scary, and as a African American who, I don't live in Florida anymore, I don't understand this push to try to stop critical race theory, which is not taught in schools anyway. It's just a talking point, you know. It's the same as the Texas governor saying, well, we don't have to worry about women who get having abortions who were raped, because we're going to end all rapes. It's literally that same kind of thought process. First, were you not trying to end all rapes? And now you're starting in the year 2021, you're just starting to try to end all rapes. And two, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Who are these teachers? Who are these woke teachers? And look, trust me, I am not a fan of wokeness. That's not my party. That's not what I align myself with. But just using the word woke to signal to certain people that you're against other people, because that's what he's doing. He's trying to say, I'm this type of person and I'm going to come down on those type of people. So why are we suing teachers? You know? And again, I have yet to speak to somebody that is against critical race theory that actually knows what it is. I have yet to talk to one person. I'm so confused with America. It's never forget, but get over this. Remember our heritage. The Confederate flag is about our heritage, and it's about our history. But how long are you going to keep bringing that up? Which is it? Which is it? Is it remember the history or is it move on? My problem with DeSantis is not some of his choices as a leader, but I just feel like he's really leaned in to dividing us. This is divisive. And it's only intended to be divisive. And the worst part about it that I haven't even really got to, is that you can also sue your employers. So if I'm talking about critical race theory, just I'm talking about it to somebody, me and a person that we agree on this and we're having a conversation at work, we can be sued by another employee. Tell me how that makes sense. Tell me how you're going to tell the thing that's crazy about Republicans or conservatives, and at least in the state of Florida, maybe in Texas too, is that you feel really comfortable with the government dictating what a person or a company can or cannot do. But I thought the whole thing with Republicans was that you want as little government involved as possible. So I'm just curious how Republicans are going to tell you what you can and cannot say, what you can and cannot teach, what you can and cannot support, but somehow Democrats are the communists. It just makes me wonder, do people even know what communism is? Because all they're really talking about is money. When they talk about Democrats, they're talking about money. Their money. They're making $25,000 a year, but the government's going to take their money and give it to somebody on welfare. Come on, man. You're not paying taxes. You're getting refunds. We know what it is. We all pay our taxes. We know what it is. But you're going along with it because it's those people. I was talking to my father yesterday, and he was saying, he reminded me of something. I think that if you talk to most people and you ask them what the population of African Americans are in America, they would think it's something like 30 to 40%. It's about 13 to 15%. Yet at 13 to 15%, somehow we've been able to take all the jobs, all the welfare, and commit all the crimes at the same time. Just 13 to 15% of the people, all the drugs, all the welfare, all the crime, taking all the jobs. Come on, man. Let's start having real conversations. You know? Like I'm here in Florida, man. I'm not telling anyone to wear a mask. I'm not tripping. I walk by people. I went to the gym the other day. I can respect people's choices. You know? I have a thought on how people should do it, but that's my thought. So I'm gonna keep it to myself. You know? We're past it. There was a time where we could try to negotiate. We're not. People are going to live their way, and you just have to accept it and make your choices based on how you want to live. But man, we got to start getting real. All right, this anti-woke bill. Come on, man. We don't need more garbage like this. And I would say it's garbage if they were saying, you can't talk about stuff about church at school. Although I do believe very strongly in the separation of church and state, which some Christians seem to have trouble with. And I don't understand how you can have trouble with it, because to me, it's very simple. Yes, as Christians are the predominant or the majority of the religion right now. What if they weren't? What if they don't become? What if Muslims become the primary religion of America? Would you want them making legislation towards your life? That's why I think it's best to keep it separate. But that's just me. This this law is just ridiculous, and it's probably going to pass. I mean, there's no one to stop it in Florida. The thing that I've said to a lot of people during this whole COVID situation is, after a while, you just kind of have to start looking around and seeing who are the people on your side. And if you're comfortable, you can sleep at night, that's good, man. That's all you got to worry about. That's all you have to worry about. If when you look around, the people that you're agreeing with, the people that you're siding with, are the people that you want to be agreeing with and want to be siding with, then that's fine. And I really, I really mean it's fine. I don't agree with this DeSantis thing. I think it's garbage. I think it's hateful. And I take extreme exception to him quoting Martin Luther King. It's spitting in the face of civil rights leaders. It's spitting in the face of African Americans. The funny thing is, the when you forget about history, then it changes the whole story. Because when you talk about redistributing wealth, but you leave out how the wealth was given initially or how the wealth was gained initially, then it changes the story. If I told you someone just broke into my house and stole something from me, stole my phone, then that's like, oh my God, that's terrible. But if I forget to leave out the part that I went into their house first and stole the phone from them, and they were simply coming to get it back, now we have a different story. We have justification. That person who broke into my house is now justified. So it's important that we know the history. You can't say there's a redistribution of wealth when the wealth was stolen originally. And I understand it's tough. How do you correct a wrong that was not done by the current generation? That is a messy answer. That is a messy answer, and there is no clean way that's going to make everybody feel happy. But I'll say this, it's not the victim's problem. It's not the victim's issue that is messy, because they're not the ones who caused the problem. If someone comes and breaks into my house and steals my house and then lives in it, and then their kids live in it, and their grandkids live in it, and then my kids finally come back to get it, people are like, well, they had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, it's still my grandkids' house. So you can't talk about redistributing wealth when the wealth was originally stolen. That's my opinion. History, my point is, history is important. Okay? History is important because it creates context. It gives justification. Affirmative action didn't just come out of nowhere. There was a reason they put those laws into place. So I'm not here for this woke. I'm not here for wokeness, and I'm not here for the woke act. Critical race theory, to the best of my knowledge, is not taught at the elementary school level or the high school level or the middle school level. It is a college concept. And even if it was taught in schools, I would be fine with it. Because as long as we keep ignoring it, we're going to keep having problems. Like this judge. And she's not, the thing about it is she's not the only one. She's not the only one. And you know, I have enough friends. We know the family members and the friends that say that crazy stuff. So why is it that when someone said something to me or someone did something to me, we're like, oh, Brian, why would they do that? What reason would they have to do that? Here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing. I'm so hyped today. You can't convince me that anyone would have believed the story of George Floyd if there was not a video. There is no way you can convince me that anyone would have believed that story. They're like, that's crazy. That's an execution. No one would do that. No cop would do that. No cop is that bad. And even after we saw the video, there were still some people who were saying, but why didn't he just listen to them? He shouldn't have done this. He shouldn't have done that. We got a long way to go. Good news is we're making progress, getting down the road. Bad news is the road's getting bumpier. But we're going to keep walking because that's what you do. We don't give up. We don't give in. We keep moving forward. So I'm going to switch from Death Santis over to BJJ. Had the pleasure of training at Fusion Excel yesterday, and which is a beautiful place because there's a lot of differing opinions, but for the most part, everyone's respectful. And I think that's largely because of Julian Williams and Edwin. They both are open-minded people who don't have a phone ringing when they're trying to do their live. Hold on, I'm going to put you on mute 1 second, and then I'll be back after this phone stops ringing. All right, I am extremely sorry about that. It's the first time that's happened, but you know what? That's life. So yeah, I had the pleasure of training with Julian. One thing I noticed about training at Fusion Excel, I don't know if it's because they're primarily an MMA school, um, but the intensity at which they train, bro, I had to keep checking myself because they kept pulling me into their game. So I don't really play um, a very. I mean, I am about pressure, but I with a certain amount of finesse. Because if I use too much strength, then I'm gonna get tired. I'm gonna get tired, and I'm just like it's gonna be a wrap for your boy. I got 2.5 minutes, and then I'm out. But if I play smart, I find my positions, I can last longer. Moving on. Yeah, man. So it was cool. Got to train with some very, very good guys. Man, two very I can't believe they were blue belts. And then Johnny, my man, who feels insane. I mean, just I had a good round with him, but man, when he wants to do what he wants to do, there was nothing I could do to stop him. Just strong, fast, smart movements. And when someone moves like that, it puts you in a panic. Definitely had me worried the whole round, but it was great. Had a great time. And then lastly, I got to train with my friend Julian. And sometimes I not sometimes, I think most times, 75% of the times, I take for granted the fact that my best friend is a world class jiu-jitsu black belt who trains some of the best fighters in the UFC, you know, and I always want to push myself when I'm training with him, but man, it's just an ocean, just a tidal wave after tidal wave. Every move that he does is so strong, so smooth. It's funny because it's like Jay Smooth is his nickname, and so he has smooth jujitsu. But it's really the perfect way to describe his jujitsu because it's just strong and it flows and it's just so hard. There was a couple of things that I thought I might be able to at least off balance him with. Nothing. Couldn't sweep him. Couldn't even get him to tip. Um, just just overwhelming. But something that like I've never really got to experience. I've taken his class, but he gave me some advice, and man, it's just such it's the thing about jujitsu that I love. It's a game of yes, if you're strong, yes, if you're athletic, it's going to help you. It's going to serve you well. But it's a game of small adjustments. You know what I mean? Before I left, I got a chance to roll with Matthias Denise at Marcelo's, and he gave me some small adjustments, and they just make such a big difference. There's a philosophy element to jujitsu, there's an understanding, there's a vision element to it. And what both Matthias and Julian were kind of opening my eyes to is like, hey, see the game, understand what it is that you're trying to do, understand where you are. Understand where your body is and where you're trying to get it. So I'm super appreciative. I took today off because I had a really nasty case of turf toe. My elbow's all kind of jacked up. But I'll be back tomorrow for no gi. I really like no gi. Although right now I'm really trying to lean into gi. Just I feel like, if you really want to be a jujitsu practitioner, you got to have an understanding of the gi. Um, but it's tough on the fingers, man. God, just brutal on the fingers. I felt like my middle finger, just like from the tip up here, has been like not broken, but like 'cause, I can do all this, but man, it just hurts all day long. It hurts. Turf toe, knee, elbow. You know what I mean? Some of that's I think the cold weather, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to training here because it's a different style, and I love training in different styles. I think that really helps prepare you for tournaments. So I feel like I'll be a lot more prepared when I compete, because I want to compete next year for 4 years. And with that said, we're going to end this live. We're going to end this stream that we've gone long on with some live tweets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my window and just kind of go through all the tweets that I've been doing. I think all the tweets I've been doing, and then just kind of explain what's happening right off the bat. We got a classic right off the bat. And that, if you don't know, I can't really see myself. So if I'm looking crazy, just bear with your boy. All right. Just bear with your boy. All right. So we're going to start with this is my Twitter handle, the casual Brian, at Monkey D Brian, if you will. So just follow me. Catch these tweets. Um, I see that it's right there. You see that? I love that. That's so meta. So okay, we'll start with this. It asks which anime is going to be anime of the year. So I don't see Tokyo Revengers on here. So everybody's been hyping up Chainsaw Man. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't read it. I kind of want to be an anime only on it. Um, some of the stuff I've seen looks cool, but I can't see it beating some of these other titles, particularly Mob Psycho, which is my number 2 favorite anime. No, number 3, World Trigger. I passed it with World Trigger. But that's because I thought Mob Psycho wasn't coming back, so it might jump again. I could care less about Vinland Saga. Couldn't care less. Think it's boring. I don't even know if I'm going to watch it. Demon Slayer, I finished it. I should watch it because it's good. And the animation definitely takes it to another level, so I should watch it. Made in Abyss, I can't be waiting 5 years in between each one, so I'm going to see. Now this, the Blood War, 100,000 Year Blood War, woo! Bleach. I am so here for this. But let me tell you something. This is some seriously dark stuff. So if you're not about that life, do not watch this next season. But, whatever. So this, I didn't finish this. I didn't tweet this properly. I said, ever wonder why so many noses and faces were destroyed while the rest of the artifacts were kept in perfect condition? So I'm talking about Egyptians, the Egyptian mummies and all those things. If you look at it, they always tear off the nose, the mouth, the face. That's always torn off. You ever wonder why that's like that? I'm gonna leave a teaser right there. I'm not gonna go into it, but I'm gonna say just consider, why do you think that they did that? Why do you think that when they talk about Egypt, they don't really talk about it as if it's a part of Africa, which it is 100% a part of Africa? Things to ponder. Black people waiting for Joe Biden to remember us like. It's true, man. I mean, he even made a speech. Now, look, this is like Democrats 101. And this is why the Democrats are leaking black people, because they talk to us, they come to the church, they sing in the choir, they stand in front of the church and they say, "Oh, I understand and what you've gone through." They talk about hot sauce in their purse and all this garbage. And then they become president, they become senator, and they do nothing. They do nothing for black people. It's just, oh, wait, we got so much that we have to deal with. Well, let me tell you something. We're tired of waiting. Okay? We're tired of waiting. You're going to learn. You're going to learn. Joe Biden should have darn well learned, because we definitely, and black women in particular, put Joe Biden on. But that's what they do. And until we just stand up, it's going to keep happening. Already talked about DeSantis, and this judge, man, I know that they're pressuring her to resign, so that's good. But if she gets to keep her job, and it's not just about her getting fired. She needs to, all the cases that she was over need to be reviewed. They need to look at her behavior. These judges are out of control, and we're seeing this. 2021 is the year of seeing that judges are completely out of control. There's nobody that can stop them. Nobody. Hopefully this lady will resign. She needs to. She clearly does not have what it takes to be a judge. And what it takes is not being racist. This is a big deal. I want to do a little bit more research before I talk about this. I might talk about this tomorrow. But okay. Now this is crazy. You got.
They're going to get there. Got to foul him, and they do. He fouled him. Garrett Temple tried to foul him. 1.4 to play out of timeouts. Garrett Temple reached
All right, now
for
this.
him.
Here, now watch
Didn't
this.
get him. And give Shea Gilgeous-Alexander credit as Devontae sends it.
Oh my goodness! I had to watch this thing at least 20 times. I could not believe this. Oh my gosh, just awful. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be a rough night. I like this. This is a good point. This is how I feel seeing Ron DeSantis quote Martin Luther King while trying to do the act, the woke act. I thought I retweeted more stuff. Let me go to home. I thought that would work, but it seems like it was not. Out of abundance of caution is the most overused or overplayed or abused phrase people are just throwing around for any and all possible asinine reason. Trust the science. I don't often agree with Meghan McCain, but like really, when it comes to trust the science, it's getting a little wild. Because I mean, like, what science are we trusting? Your science? Someone else's science? Oh my goodness! Oh, earlier this year. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm saying. Twitter is a ride, man. I don't really care if Build Back. Oh, that's not true. I want the Build Back Better bill to pass, but it's just like, I don't know, man. They've used up a lot of social equity, and it doesn't seem like it's working. No, they didn't. No, they did not bring Isaiah Thomas back to the Lakers. No. I mean, I root for the guy. I am happy for him personally, but what are the Lakers doing? I feel like they're trying to sabotage that coach, and then just like, I mean, come on, man. Give the man a single working piece. Gosh. Anyway, I've gone way over my normal time because I just love streaming. It's just fun to get on here and talk and hang out with y'all. I appreciate everyone that stopped by. It's been a good stream. It's been a lot of fun. And if you enjoy, please subscribe, please follow, um, you know, and like and share. All that stuff helps. Again, we're on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. um I'm working on getting a slide so I can just put all the handles up so you can follow along. Your boy's working, all right? It's a work in progress, but we're gonna have it popping by the 1st. You can count on that. I mean, I don't know how much popping is gonna be because I'm still gonna be here, but it's gonna be better. I mean, we're getting better each day. So if you missed this, or if you're just coming in at the end, don't you worry. This will be up in a little bit on Spotify and iTunes and everywhere else you can find podcasts. So until tomorrow, have a wonderful day. Stay casual, and remember, do something to invest in your tomorrow today.